Oh no, we didn't get any players in, and Grev's crap. Playing again, isn't he? Let's get into it.
Let's go.
Hello and welcome to the Leeds House Sunday Club with me, James, on my own again. We won't get into it. We know what happens. Yes, we're here. We're back. We're all happy. We're winning and things have happened. It's all nice. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about the game. We'll talk about other little bits, players, fixtures, whatnot. If you are here, join in, give me some comments, ask me some questions, give me thoughts on topics that I bring up. Like, subscribe, share, and do all them things. So let's fire straight into the big talking point that we're gonna discuss today, which is obviously a wonderful game that happened on Friday night. Leeds United 3, Nottingham Forrest 1. Under the lights at Elland Road, where we tend to not be able to be beaten. Oh, that's me touching wood again. I don't want to jinx us because obviously the other week my undefeated run out against Arsenal when I've gone to watch them at Elland Road. So I don't want to jinx the evening games under the lights at Elland Road. But as of today, I think we won 5 out of 5 this season when we played in the evening at Elland Road, which is good. So if we can just play all of our games, even the away ones, let's play them at Elland Road under the lights at night. Who's here? Fergal, you did, alongside our regular Einar, who's always guesses 3-1. So, he's got, I think that's the third 3-1 we've had this season. So, yes, Fergal, I think you did say 3-1. So, well done to you. I did say 9-2, but mine never come in. They did last year. I think I predicted like the Cardiff game about 7-0 or something like that, and that come in pretty close. And there was a Stoke one as well. But yeah, 3-1 against Forest on Friday night. The team selection, I'll get it up in a sec. It wasn't an unusual one for the people that know Fark and for the people that know how he does his bits and bobs. Stick myself down there. Let's get the team up. So this was the team that started the game against Forest on Friday. Poor old Mez had some. Oh God, yeah, I know. It's I thought they would have let him go. I thought there was someone after him in the winter window, but he's still here, and it looks like he's grown his hair in protest. But it's just adding more weight to his body, so I don't think it's going to move very well with that big mop of hair on his head. Anyway, this is the team that started. Darlow in goal. I thought you might throw Perry back in, but he didn't. He stuck with Darlow, which is fair enough. Justin, Rodon and Strauch. Bogle, Ampadu, Grev, who another one a lot of people were, concerned about playing and thinking that he's not up to it. Goodmanson, Okafor comes in for the injured stack. Aronson keeps his place. Calvert-Lewin. So yeah, that's the team. That's the team that started on Friday night. And I thought pretty much that's around about the team that he'd keep, because we know he likes a bit of consistency, especially with Garev. The game started at a quite a high tempo for us. We were getting down the left quite often. Goodmanson was just doing what Goodmanson does. I made a comment about Goodmanson at the start of this season about his endeavour to get forward and up and down the pitch, and I thought he might be involved in a lot of our goals because of his ability to get up and down, and I feel like that he should have probably had a few goals or goal contributions, but there's none come yet. But you can see that he's close. He's getting close, um, and yeah, well, we'll get onto that. We'll chat about Graven a little bit, mate. Just he had a good game. We'll talk about him a little bit. But yeah, we started off really well in the game. We started like a house on fire. Like we do a lot of times at Elland Road. They seem to get a bit of a foothold in the game. You know what I think I've mentioned it as a talking point. I don't think the pitch helped us very much with our play. It seemed to hold up a little bit, and you could see there was a point when Ampadu played the ball into Aronson in the first half, and his turn and slipped, and then they've sort of broke from it. And it seemed they were starting to get a bit of a foothold in the game. They were sort of breaking, getting some decent balls in the box. I mean, you probably expect that. Forest have got good players, probably massively underachieving in the season. I think. Here he is. Here he is. Here he is. Yes, mate. You've got a third one this season. A third 3-1. Well done. Same as Fergal. He predicted 3-1 as well. Yeah, and then we see Bogle making this diagonal run from the right wing or right wing back across the pitch. Gurev spots the run, plays a delicious ball, and it is a good ball. He hasn't just hit it and hoped. It's a really good ball. The way his technique, the way it's sort of, he's managed to sort of put a bit of backspin on it, so it's not bounced through to the keeper. And Bogle's just nicely slotted it in. Keeper was nowhere. I thought the keeper probably could come out and did a bit better, but he was nowhere. Put us 1-0 up. And then not long after that, a bit of interplay between the two fullbacks on the right side. I know Justin was sort of playing as a sort of right sort of centre back in that three, but he was doing what Rodon did. I think was it Palace. I think it was the Palace game where Rodon was bombing up the right wing, and Justin sort of took up that role and a little bit of interplay. Him and Bogle, and then him and Aronson. Aronson's nice little ball around the corner. He's had a good shot, keeper save, and then he's had the wherewithal to play the ball into Okafor, who scored the goal. That's put us 2-0 up and put us in a really commanding position. Second half goes, and then Grove pops up again. At first, I thought it was a shot, but the more I watch, because he's obviously seen that run from Bogle in the first half, the more I watch the goal and see the goal, I think he's just tried to lift it into an area. I think he may have tried to get it a little bit higher for Calvert-Lewin's head for the run, but the ball he's played in well, and Calvert-Lewin's just improvised really good off his chest and into the goal to put us 3-1 up, 3-1 up, 3-0 up. And then, we've not really need to do much else. They've made a lot of subs. That big lanky dude's come on. He looks like a decent player for them. He scored that header to make it a little bit edgy because of the big injury time that they put on. When you see how much, 9 minutes or something, wasn't it? And you think, oh God, if they score, it might get a bit touchy. But no, it finished 3-1. It probably thoroughly deserved. I thought first half it was quite, although we scored the 2 goals, it was quite back and forth for a little bit. I thought second half we really they didn't. I think their header that they scored was the first shot they had in that second half, because I thought second half we really just had all the ball. I thought we dominated the ball quite a lot. Probably should have maybe scored a couple more. But no, it was a sort of reverse fixture of the first reverse result of the first fixture at their ground, where we were poor and lost 3-1. But yeah, a good win against a team that's down there. We've gone 3 points. We took us 3 points ahead of them, 9 points ahead of West Ham at the time. Obviously, West Ham went on to win, but it's good. I mean, we're looking at these games at home, and we're looking at these are the games that we're wanting to win, and all we can do is beat them. I mean, it's all well and good looking at other teams and what they're doing, and it doesn't matter as long as we win the games that we're supposed to win. I think we'll be comfortable. But great win, great win to go into the weekend and gives us a little bit of a rest for the up and coming fixture. So that was a team section. That was a game. Yeah, I just mentioned the pitch. It seemed to really start cutting up, and I think it did affect a bit of our play because I think we like sometimes, we can go long to Calvert-Lewin and hold up play, but we do play it about as well, and we can play it quite well. And I don't think the pitch helped. It was really cutting up, and I was getting a bit worried because it takes one slip to let somebody in, and we're probably renowned for slips and trips and mistakes. But we managed it. We managed that shocking pitch in that game. A lot of comments seem to think that Leeds United are more in trouble than Forest and West Ham. I don't get it. I think that's mostly from Leeds fans as well, if I'm being honest, man. We just can't seem to. Do you know what it is? I think there's a lot of people that because they make predictions about certain players that we've got, a manager that we've got, the 49ers, the lack of signings, and they make these sort of wild predictions that, we're going to struggle, we're going to go down, and these players aren't good enough. It's almost like this. I'm going to say, it's going to sound really mental, that they almost want that failure so they can be proven right, which is sad. I mean, but yeah, I've noticed that as well. Even on, I watched Match of the Day last night, and there was, after our game, it was more talk about Crystal Palace and West Ham, or West Ham I think they'll be good enough to get out, and Crystal Palace. And I was like, what, are you going to say anything about Leeds, or we were just pretending that they're not here, or we're not here? And then he made some comment right then. I think they'll just be all right because of their home form. As much as we got, but I thought we played really well. Yeah, we do get a lot of shitty comments for, well, we can't help them people. Can't help them, can we? Next thing I want to talk about, the fullbacks, Bogle, Goodmanson. I will throw Justin in there, even though he was playing sort of centre right back, but he was pretty much playing on the wing or up front or midfield, or wherever you want to put him, because he seemed to be all over the right side. I thought they were really good. I thought they were fantastic. Bogle probably had his best game in a long time, really. And it was him that sort of harassed, is it Anderson for that third goal, where he's harassed him into a rash clearance, and Ampadu sort of picked the header up, gone to Grove and has played it in. Yeah, Bogle was really good. Justin was really good, and Goodmanson again continuously to be good. We looked at Goodmanson a few episodes back about him being at fault for a few of our goals, but you can't. I think a lot of them have been unfortunate. It seems to have not been so bad recently, but his engine is magnificent. He's like he was doing the job of two players on that left side, because Okafor, we'll talk about Okafor in a little bit. Justin and sort of Bogle were handling that right side really well, both from getting up and down, both from getting back. But three of them, I thought they were really good as a sort of the wing back, right backs, whatever you want to call. And just to touch more on James Justin since it's come in, I think a very questionable acquisition when we bought him in. It was a talk about wasting 10 million on this player that's, a Leicester reject, and there was a lot of comments made about him not being very good. I think he has been fucking amazing since he's come in. He's a good player. He's good player. He's good on the ball. He's good at tackling. He's getting involved in the sort of build up, and he's getting up there now. We know that Farker likes to have his fullbacks and even his left, right centre back now getting involved in the sort of attacking play, and Justin has got more and more involved in that. And his sort of like run and 1-2s with the second goal, and his sort of, his calmness to then play the ball into Okafor. I think Justin has been such a great buy, underrated buy. I think a lot of our signings have been quite good, but we'll get into them as well. But yeah, James Justin. What do you guys think of James Justin so far? Because I'm quite surprised of the level that we're getting out of him at the moment. And you've got to say it's pretty good recruitment. Fark's using him well. He can play on the right. He can play on the left. He can play right centre back. He can play centre midfield. He can play out front. He can probably play in goal. I think he's just been, among others, just been a really, really solid signing for us. And we've not missed players when they've been out when he's played. That's the sign of a good sort of signing. We didn't miss sort of Bogle when he was covering for Bogle. We didn't miss Goodmanson when he was covering for Goodmanson. He's playing in that right centre back now. Just an absolute top signing in my eyes. James Justin. If you're watching, give me your thoughts on James Justin, because I want to know. I want you to talk to me. Give me some feedback. Give me some feedback on the JJ. Really, really good player. Another signing that we're going to talk about. Well, I'm going to talk about, because just me. Before I get into that one, let's have a look at this. He's been good, but I would have BO in for Chelsea. I mean, I don't disagree with you. I think having BO back in that three-man defence, it's just good that we've got, if he does put BO in there, it's just good that we've got a player in Justin that we know if he's relied upon, he can do a job, and he can do a good job. I sort of agree in the sense that I like them. I like that three in the back. I think BO was really, obviously he's a great defender, and he really sort of grew into the team when he was in before he got injured. But it's good having a player like Justin that can come in and pretty much cover any part of that defense or wing. I know JJ has been brilliant. Wasn't impressed when we signed him, but he proved me wrong. Hope he keeps doing that. Yeah, I mean, you're not the only one, mate. You're not the only one that was underwhelmed by the signing, especially because we were looking, when we brought him in, we were probably looking more for another attacker to come in, or another attacking player. But he fucking attack as well by the looks of it. So proving a lot of people wrong. Yeah, like I said, I've got to sort of agree with that, because I do like them three. I do like Rodon, BO, and Strauch as a three centre back. If we do the three, do you know what I mean? If we do that three, then yeah, definitely. He was an England international, so class never leave you if you love. Exactly, yeah. I think if you're in the right place and you're getting the right treatment and you're being looked after, good players, they seem to shine in the right environment, and it's proven so. With not just him, a lot of our players at the moment. So the next one I want to talk about is this little bad boy, Okafor. For Okafor, I've been not disappointed in him, but kind of disappointed in him. I've been a bit underwhelmed by him for the past, since he's come in, really, because you see things in him, and you think there's something in this player. He's got something about him, and he could really be a game changer for you. But he's comes in fits and spurts. He'll do a little something good, and then he'll just sort of disappear out the game. But I thought Friday night, he looked a lot better than he has done. He was looked confident on the ball. There was that time when he was running back towards his goal, and he was trying to fucking do little flicks and skills and that, and kept getting caught under his feet. But he didn't lose it, and he kept hold of the ball. But I thought this was one of his better games that he's had, and I think getting a goal as well, I think he needed it. I think Okafor needed a good game. I think Okafor needed a goal. I thought he was really. I say really good. I thought he was. I think there's more to come from him. I still think there's another couple of levels that you can get out of Okafor if he just gets down and uses what he's good at, because he's a strong lad. He's got skills. He's got the speed. And like I say, defensively, he's probably not as good as some of the players that play in that position. But if he can up that a little bit as well, get his work rate coming back and helping Goodmanson, because you know how much Goodmanson runs. He doesn't need to do too much, but just upping that a little bit. I think, like I say, just keep turning it up now, Okafor. You've got a platform now. Go on from here. Go into Chelsea, score a hat trick, and then I'll be fucking happy. Simple as that. Okafor, yeah. Good game, decent game. How do you feel about Okafor? Do you feel like there's still more to come from him? Do you think he's been a waste of money? Maybe you think that. I'm obviously, as I've just said, a few more levels to get out of him, I reckon. A few more. But if he plays like that, get his confidence up, I think he could be, especially in the run into the end of the season. I think if he can just up his tempo a little bit more. Like I say, I've been saying it all season. Like, he can be a real game changer for us. Let's hope that he bloody does. Okafor, the ball's in your court, son. The ball's in your court, son. Fergal, Onar, tell me, how do you think Okafor's doing? The next guy that I'm going to talk about, who has been pretty good all season. He's gone a few games without scoring, but back amongst the scorer. Hit the bar early on. Probably come off his shoulder a little bit. But good improvised finish. Does what he usually does. Nightmare, wins headers. We can talk about it every week. Probably had a very quiet and unusually dominated game against Arsenal, where I thought Gabriel really sort of did a number on him. But it's good to see him scoring again. I mean, he's always a threat. He's fit. He's looking fit. And like I say, if you feed him, he'll score. Let's see what Fergal is saying. Fat likes who he likes. Some remarks at his presser about Fundo. I think is throw down the gauntlet. He did a similar with Archie. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know about now. I thought, who the fuck's Fundo? But I don't know about now. Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't think it is what it is, isn't it? It's his team. If he, I've always sort of trusted in his choices and the things that his teams he puts out, his squads. I don't really question it too much. I might have my opinions on it and say, oh, why isn't he playing, or think he should play? But at the end of the day, he's the manager, and he'll make his decisions based on training and how they're doing. So Facundo just needs to buckle down, and when he gets a chance, take it. Simple as that. And I think he will get a chance. I reckon there's an FA Cup game next week against Birmingham. I'm pretty sure he'll start in that. So hopefully we'll see a bit more of him in that game, and maybe it won't be as pressurised for him. He can come in and just play his game and take it from there, because he is a good player. Facundo Buonanotte. What the fuck's Fundo? Is this a player that we signed that I didn't even realise we signed? But yeah, Facundo. I know what you mean. Fergal. Yeah, so back to DCL. I'm just happy that he's got another goal. It's double figures now. Next few games, I'm hoping he might go 2 up top against Chelsea. But we're away from home, so he might go a bit more defensive minded. We'll see. But yeah. What do you think about DCL scoring? Are you happy that he scored with his chest? I think he scored one with his chest before. I think he said he did. But a nice bit of improvisation there. But glad to have him back up on the scoring records. And I want to talk about him, this guy, because I slated him, and I still think he's shit. It's Darlow. He made a few decent saves, To be fair, that first one in the first half where that Dominguez's shot come off Strauch and then his sort of sort of curled it in. I think he should have saved it anyway. It was a decent save. I'll give him his due, but it's probably a save that he should have made. Yeah, he did. He made a few in the second half as well. He made that one where they've had the shot and it's sort of dived and then it sort of took a deflection, so it sort of re-dived while in a dive to tip it around the post. So yeah, fair play to him. I'm still a bit uneasy with all our keepers at the moment, if I'm being honest. I'm just like when teams have shots against us, I'm just a bit shaky about it. But I'm glad that he saved some shots. I'm glad that he was doing his job and he saved some shots as a goalkeeper. So, I will make a little shout out to him because I did slate him last. Well, I didn't slate him. I just thought it would probably been best to put Perry in because that goal against Arsenal was shocking. But he kept his place, and like I said, he's made a couple of good saves. But I don't know what this means goalie wise now. I think is he just going to stick with Darlow till the end of the season? And if he does do that and he sticks with Darlow, what does that mean for Perry? Because I think like it's probably one of the. If I am going to criticise a signing, it's probably that one. If he ends up not playing for the rest of the season, wasted a bit of dough there on a goalie that you're not playing. But who knows? I still think Khan should get a shot. I don't know, mate. He might be. No, he can't be. He can't be cup tied, can he? I don't know. When did he leave Chelsea? Did he play in that third round for Chelsea? I don't know, mate. Don't know. There's that mad new rule, ain't there? I don't know how it works. There was another player that I'm sure played for a team in an early round of the cup and then played for another team later on in the round. I think in the League Cup. They change the rules every year, and I can't be asked keeping up with them. They're all stupid anyway. But if he is cup tied, then no, he won't play against Birmingham. But I'm not sure. I don't think Chelsea ever played him. To be honest, I don't know. Yeah, it is his job. So, but it's his job to catch balls as well that come in from a corner. But he had that job at that day, didn't he? Yeah, he'll probably play Perry in the cup. Perry's been demoted to the cup keeper, so let's hope he stays in so he can get some games. I don't know, mate. I've got no idea who Chelsea played in the cup. They've got about 40,000 players on their books, haven't they? So I haven't got a clue if he played for them in the cup. He might have. And like I say, I know there's that the rule. There was a rule change when it comes to being cup tied for players, but I don't know it. So if you want to look it up, while I'm doing this because I ain't got a fucking clue. If he's cup tied, then he can't really play, can he? But I do think he'll get a chance. He'll get a chance to play, and if you don't, then it's just a loan, isn't it? If I'm not wasting any money on him, it is what it is. So the next guy I want to talk about, who's had a lot of criticism, and which unjustly for me, because I don't think he's been as bad as what people make out. I mean, limitation wise and how he plays and what he does, people find it annoying. People think there's better options in there. I'll read this comment before I continue. Okay. Okay, we'll just don't worry about it then, mate. Yeah. Limitation wise in his game and what he does and what he brings to the team, and people think we've got better that can play. But this man, I'm going to give him a little shout out. Thought he was really good. To be honest, I don't think he's been as bad as what people make out. Like I say, he has got limitations in what he does in games. He keeps the ball rolling, but he closes spaces down. He gets his foot in, gets in front of players. He might make a few too many sidewards and backwards passes, but I think it's just part of his what he's been asked to do. But then he comes in on, and maybe he looked up a few of these comments on him himself and thought, "Oh, you think I can't pass it forward? You think I can't pass it forward? Hey, watch this then, Bogle, off you pop, mate. Ping, lovely." And he's done a few of them. If you look back on him, he has got it in his locker. He's got a decent left foot. He can play some balls, but maybe there's an element of safety that he's been playing it. When you think about the games that he's come into play as well, the Liverpool, Manchester United, Newcastle, Arsenal, these games that he's come into play, maybe he doesn't, maybe he wants to keep it a bit safe and keep it a bit short. But I don't think he's been as bad as what people have made out. And I think when you've got Aronson playing in that three up there, I think he likes an extra sort of defensive minded sort of player in there. But he's got the ability and he's done well. And I'm glad that he got a couple of assists, especially that first one, because that's a great ball. He's had a lot of shit, and I think it's unjust. He did, mate. He bloody did ping a few in the championship. There was a bloody one of them compilation videos of him that come out not long ago of him pinging them around in the championship. He's got it in his locker, but he's obviously asked to play a certain way in the Premiership, and he's a safety first kind of guy. But I just think he's had a bit of criticism, and it's not his fault that he's been picked. I mean, what's he supposed to say? No gaffer. Barry from fucking Scunthorpe said that you should play Tanaka, so I'm going to sit this one out. Play Tanaka. Get Stack off that injury bed and put him in because Steve from Winchester thinks you should play him. He is. Yeah. Graham knows everything. But look, I'm a very trusting person, and I'll always trust the team that Fight puts out, regardless of what it is. He'll have his reasons for it. It would have been worked on in training. Like, he doesn't just come to the match day and it's like, right, I'm picking this team, and everyone's like, what the fuck? He hasn't even been here. They're obviously working on stuff through the week. This isn't, like I keep saying to people, this isn't Sunday League football. This is like high level shit that they do week in, week out. We don't see anything that happens in training apart from the odd little, 2-minute, 10-minute videos that they put out where we just watch them run for a bit and do rondos. There's a lot that goes into this, so he's doing well for me. I ain't got a criticism of Garev. Obviously, I think there's better players than Garev. I think that we've got better players in our team than him. But I don't begrudge him playing because I know that he's playing for a reason. So I just thought it was nice that he did that on Friday, because when that team was put out, the amount of, I mean, it doesn't so much bother me that you go on Twitter, mainly Twitter, and you see all these fans just slating us completely once they see something that they don't like or something happens that they don't like. And he was one of the main focal points, like, oh my God, what's Gruev got over Fark? Why is he still playing? Blah, blah, blah. And then he goes and puts in that performance. So I'm happy for him for that. You can't not start him. I keep saying this week in, week out, Fergal. Managers, there are some managers that will tinker and they'll switch and they'll put players in, they'll rotate. And there's some managers that if they're fit, I mean, if he's not got a knock and if he's fit, they like consistency. They like to keep a consistent sort of team and to keep it ticking and playing in a certain way. And if he's played as well as he did, I just don't see him not starting. I think he just keeps his place. But it's good because we've got players coming back. I don't know if Stack will be back by then, but we've got, you know, we've got a not the biggest squad, but we've got a squad now that you look into it. Part of the goalkeepers, because they're all shite, and you're thinking, you know what? It's not so bad if we're missing a player. If someone can come in, we've got a decent enough squad that we know that we can switch it if we need to. We can have some players like James is back now. He looked okay when he come on. I'm not fucking holding my hopes out for him because, you know, he looks okay for 5 minutes and then his muscles will ping all out of his legs and he, you know, he can't run anymore. Well, yeah. Well, I think he'll. Well, I mean, even if he is, yeah, I think he'll start. Longstaff's back now, which is good. It's good to have him back. We've still got Tanaka on the bench that's not playing. We've got options, which is good. And like I say, consistency for me is like a big fat sort of characteristic of him. He likes to try and keep, if he can, keep the same without changing it too much. So I think he starts. I do think he starts on Tuesday, isn't it? It's Tuesday we play Chelsea. Yeah. Let's talk about this because this was a big talking point last week, weren't it? We didn't have any signings, and I think everyone and his dog, every man and his dog, was expecting at least one. Even me, I was expecting us to maybe bring another player in, especially after there was the sort of we went for Strand Larsen and we did, yeah, we sort of inquired about Strand Larsen and he ended up going to Palace. But the more I think about it, because I don't like the winter window. I've never liked it. I think it's just there, and because it's there, it's almost a teams and players feel like, well, we have to sign someone because there's a window that we can. I mean, there's obviously times when it's a must and we have to and we need to and we should. But I believe that you get your squads ready in the summer. That's it. And like, if we're being technical about it, the only thing that we missed from the summer was an attacking type number 10 type player, which we got in Buonanotte. So did that complete our signings? And with the fact that we haven't got any really serious injuries, the one was probably James, who's back now. We're looking like we've got a pretty full squad. So it's like it could be a risk because we talk about injuries and what if we get some injuries and blah blah blah. The thing is, the same thing was said last summer, the last winter window, and a lot of Leeds fans made the comments like, if we don't get any players in the January, we won't go up because we need reinforcements if we don't get. And we didn't get anyone in, and we won the league quite comfortably. So we look at it now. We've got a pretty healthy squad, bar what Stack at the moment. Everyone else is pretty much there. DCL's looking fitter and fitter. He doesn't seem like he's breaking down. Touch wood. Oh, there's Metcher as well. He picks up like the odd little hamstring, but he was back in the team. We've got players that aren't playing as well. We have to remember this. We've got certain players that are decent players. We've got Tanaka that's not playing. We've got Nonto that's not playing. So we've got enough. And even if we get to the point where we just scrape staying up and we haven't made any winter signings, he'd have done his job and would have saved money for the summer. And people will probably think if we scrape it, then he needs to go because it was a big risk and blah, 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 blah. But my opinion on it is that I think you make your signings in the summer for your team. You've got a set amount of players and you make that them signings there. I think the winter window should only be if you have any sort of long-term injuries. That's when you do it. Because I just think it's such a shitty window to buy players in. I think it should be for every club. It's like if you buy all your players in the summer and they end up being all crap players and you go down, it's your own fault. Should have bought better. But it's like teams now, they could like, some teams. I think Forest did it the other season where they pretty much bought a whole new team in the winter because they weren't doing very good all, and a lot of players that they bought in the summer just didn't play. It's mental. Is it a risk? Like I say, it's only barring injuries. It's a risk, but you can't account for that because there's that. I think Farke said it himself. It's like if we buy so many players in and then we don't end up getting any injuries, then it's like we're just gonna have unhappy people sat around playing. And I've got the sense of thinking like maybe it's better to have too much than too less. But let's have a look, see what's going on here. We are, and they're they're being very, very, very frugal with their money, and I think they have bought well. Like we discussed earlier, like bar maybe Perry, but I still think maybe there might be more to come from him. I just some players need a bit of time. If not, then it's probably one of the ones that hasn't worked out as well as the others. But all the other signings have been fucking really, really good. They've been really, really good. Not one of them I've looked at and gone, fuck him, shouldn't have bought him. Look, if we go for him, it's what DCL. He's repaying the faith. He's super fit. He's scoring goals, doing a great job. Mecha is barely played. He's got 5 goals. Free signing. Got Okafor, who I think we can all see there's a good player there. He just maybe needs a bit of confidence and a bit of momentum. Longstaff, very, very, very sort of good player to have, a good squad player, and he can play he can be a first team player, but a good player to have. Stack, top player, really, really good. Really like Stack. We've got Justin, we spoke about, good player, really good, underrated. Goodmanson, probably one of the best left backs in the league in my eyes. Probably need a little bit more of output from him in terms of goals and assists, but it could be there. It could be there. We can see that he gets into some of these positions just a little bit. Last little bit of decision making just needs to be right, but defensively as well, really, really good. You got who else? Who else is there? Barn Owl. Good backup. He's not really done a lot wrong since when he's come in. And then you got Biol, who's like a fucking, since when he come in and sort of established himself in the team. Really, really good centre back. Really good, fucking strong centre back. And then you got Buonanotte, who's a decent player. So all in all, it's been the signings have been really, really good, and they don't just willy nilly go out and buy someone for the sake of it. There's obviously a lot of work and a lot of effort that goes into picking the players that we bought, and you can see they're all working out in their own way. They've all been brought in for a specific reason for this team, and it's working out really, really good. And just not forgetting as well, starting our stadium build, aren't we, in May? So when the season finishes, the stadium's going to start getting built. So it just leaves us more money in the summer that we can then add to. And they're highlighting 3 specific areas that they say. I don't think they're going to just get 3 players. I think it's going to be 3 high-profile players in specific areas. And then they'll obviously add and adjust where we need to improve, or if players go out, we just sell players and we replace them with players. Yeah, it was, mate. I think it was sort of a loan to buy. And obviously when you're Palace and you're like, oh, we'll just give you 55 million right now. They go, all right, we'll just take that then. We'll take the 55 million. Well, it's like 48 plus something, I don't know what it is. So we attempted to get him in. But we didn't, and that's it. So all in all, I'm not disappointed that we didn't get anyone in. I would have liked another person to come in. I don't know who that player would have been. I would have liked it, and that was purely based on the fact of an injury if we get an injury, not because I think we needed anything else, because I don't think we do. I think we're a good team. I think I think we're better than good on our day. I think we can beat anybody, bar Arsenal, obviously. I think we can beat anybody on our day if we play to our best. So, as I say, yeah, I think it was only bar an injury that I would have been like, oh God, touching wood, okay, because I really got to touch wood here. I don't want DCL to get injured. But yeah, even Peru. I mean, I know he's not had a lot of game time, and he started in the earlier games, didn't he? And he didn't really do a lot, but none of us were really doing a lot in them earlier games. You know, we know facts. Teams, they tend to take a little bit of time to get up and running, learning the system. Now we're there, and there's obviously a few more systems that we're playing in. We've got this system where our right centre back turns into a fucking right attacker, which no one's seen that coming. But so yeah, would have liked to have seen somebody come in, but like I said, it was based on the fact, like if someone had said to me, we won't buy anyone, but you won't get any injuries, you'll have a fit team for the rest of the season, then I'd be like, well, don't buy anyone then, because I think we've got enough to stay up. I think we've got well enough to stay up. We've got some of the games that we've got coming up, especially at home. I think even if we just win a few of them, I think we'll be comfortably up. And if we can snatch a few draws or maybe even get a couple of... I mean, this Chelsea game, I mean, as much as they've turned around under Rosenior, I think we've got it about us that we can go and fucking get something from this game. So, yeah, like I said, only based on the fact if we got injuries, maybe a new goalkeeper, another new goalkeeper. I would like that, a really good goalkeeper. Like I said, we should have just got JLS in, to just all of them playing goal, because all of them is better than one of our goalkeepers. Or maybe we just take Melier's hair off his head and just lie that in the ground, because that's getting big now. That's getting big. Yeah, Melier, man, he's just gone down, hasn't he? He come in with such promise in that FA Cup against Arsenal. And what, he looked like a fucking top keeper. And even that first season or so, even the Premiership when we first went up, looked like a good keeper, really good at one-on-ones, good shot stopper. And then them 2 seconds, I think them 2 second seasons in the Premier League just absolutely obliterated any sort of confidence that he had. Like a young keeper, you don't start sort of being the number one and to your late 20s and stuff, but coming in early and being relied on so heavily in front, like in behind a non-defense, because we didn't seem to have any defense in the second 2 seasons, where I think he faced the most shots and made the most saves, by the way, and conceded the most goals as well. But I had such high hopes for Melier. I even said it to Kev. I thought that kid, if he was looked after properly and he was handled in a better way. Nothing on Leeds, because our situation and some of the owners are not sort of bringing in players at times. But if he was handled correctly, and I think he would have been a top. He's still got time. I think he just needs to go out somewhere and sort of build himself back up a little bit. But yeah, I think we killed Melier. We destroyed that man. We destroyed that young Frenchman. That spider-legged French deep voice mop head. Oh, poor Melier. Another thing I want to point out as well. Why do we have such shocking refereeing? There was a few times on Friday night, I'm going back to Friday. I haven't put this as a talking point, but I want to talk about it anyway, because it just reminded me. Some of the decisions that referee made on Friday was beyond a joke. And the one I want to point out is the fucking hoof in the ribs that Aronson took, that he didn't even give a free kick for. Did anybody see that? I was like, are you joking me? Are you kidding me? How have you not given free kick for that? It was mental. Absolutely mental. Poor Aronson. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how shocking it was. There was a few little things I was like, "How have you not?" There's another one where DCL had it on the lot on the side, and some players just come up behind him, just tripped him over, threw him on the floor, and I was like, "Nah, fuck it, you're winning. Don't worry about it." I'm like, Jesus, I can't. That's the most annoying thing about it's divers. Diving annoys me, and the refereeing. The standard of refereeing is shocking. And diving, people diving. I hate diving so much. I hate people that just go down and just roll around and then get back up and like, yeah, I'm all right. I fucking hate it. I hate it. Yeah, he did. And to touch on Aronson as well. Again, I thought he had a good game. Thought he had a really good game. Some of his turns, some of the turns he does, and the ability to keep the ball. His confidence is skyrocketing at the moment. And I'm chuffed for him, massively chuffed for him. Just a bit like Grev, but Aronson probably has taken so much shit, so much shit. Even now, there's Leeds fans that just won't have Aronson at all. They'll just will not accept that he's a decent player. They won't accept that he's good enough for Leeds. And I think he, like, even earlier in the season when we weren't getting the results that we weren't getting, he was a massive focal point of their anger and animosity, and he was getting so much shit. And even earlier, I didn't think he was playing as bad as what people were doing, not giving him shit for. But now he's becoming like a quite important player for us. Like the way he sort of was involved in the second goal as well is like he does that quite a lot. I'll pick the ball up and it'll just find a nice little pass. So I'm really, really happy, really happy for Aronson. Like I say, some of the turns he does in the middle of the park. There was that one where there's two Forest players were sort of sandwiching him, and the ball come to him. He sort of just opened his body out, let the ball run across him. He's played out of his foot, and then I think there's Anderson's just sort of kicked him and got a free kick. And he does get a lot of free kicks as well. Like Fark's another one. Fergal, Fark's another one. Massively slated. Before we even come up, he was. In fact, before we even started playing in the Championship, it was spoke about him. Yeah. He'll get us out of this league, but once we get out of this league, we need to get someone else in because he's not a Premier League manager. I never understand that. Never understand how you can call someone not a Premier League manager because of a spell that he had with a very, very below average Norwich team that weren't, they didn't back him at all, and have, according to some Leeds fans, he hasn't really been backed properly in this season, and he's done a fucking great job, a really good job. And you know what I don't like as well? I don't like this idea that you see it in punditry is like when with that Man City game, and everyone's like, "Oh, he sort of just he just sort of luckily fell into a formation that worked for him." I'm like, come off it, man. You think that he's just randomly, like a professional Premier League manager, because he is a Premier League manager, a professional manager, at halftime, they're playing football, playing against Man City, one of the best teams, and he's just gone, you know what, guys, we haven't ever worked on this. We haven't ever tried this before, ever. But what I want you to do is play this formation. Do that now. Because you know how much work goes into the build-up of games and certain who plays what jobs players do for certain situations, what triggers they have to sort of go off. And there's no way in how that Fark has just gone, I'm just going to play this formation that we've never, ever played before now, guys. Good luck. And he just stopped. Like, I don't buy that shit. It's just lazy punditry when people say that. There's obviously been times when he's worked on this in the training, like on the training pitch. And even last season when we talked about sort of, we just resorted to throwing on attackers. It's like, no, he didn't just throw on attackers. There's obviously a plan in place in his head that they've worked on that training. They said, like, if we're maybe losing a game at a certain point, this is what we'll do, and the formation will be changed. The players will know what they're doing. Just because it looks to us on the pitch, oh, he's just thrown loads of attackers on. He hasn't got a plan. He hasn't got a plan B. It's like that was very, very rare thing in the Championship because we dominated most games. But just, I think it's very, very disrespectful to him. I think he's a good manager, and like I've said before, like if you watch him, if he has all the best players, now at his disposal playing in the Premiership, he sets up to stop teams from scoring and to dominate possession and to create loads of chances. And if we've got all the best players in the world, which obviously we ain't, then that's how we'd play in the Premier League as well, and that's what we'd do. Obviously, it's going to be a bit more difficult because you're playing against better players and better managers, and you always have to work. You always have to work around certain formations. So I just think I think he's a good manager. I think he's a lot better than people give him credit for. So more power to Farker, more power to the 49ers, because I think they've done an astute job, regardless of people thinking that they're chancers and they're just using us for a cash cow. Oh yeah, we're just using you for a cash cow, but what we're going to do is we're going to spend like hundreds of millions of pounds. I say dollars because I'm American. I'm giving you a new stadium, but you know what, guys? We're just in it for the money. It's like, shut up. What are you talking about? Some people, they need to think before this goes. Oh, sorry, it's not the mouth, is it? It's sorry, a little bit of a rant there. And we still might go down. And guess what'll happen? We'll just have to win and come back up next year. But I don't think we will. I think we've got enough to stay up, even with the fact that we didn't make any signings. Right. On to my last little. Actually, what I'll do before I do that, I'll get these up because I usually get them up. So going back to the game on Friday, this was the stats of the momentum of the game. It looks quite even there, and to be fair, the first half was that way in a weird way. I thought we sort of worked down the wings in the first half, did really well. Obviously, we scored the 2 goals. They were a bit more. They capitalised on a few little mistakes that we made, to be honest, and they broke pretty good. They got a few good balls in, had a few shots. Darlow, as I say, made a couple of good saves, and then in that second half, we scored early, and then up until it's like they took the subs off, up until they made all them subs, I thought we just really, really dominated the game. And we probably should have scored a couple more goals, as I say. We really looked on top of them. And then, they get that goal, and then there's a little bit of edginess right at the end where I'm not going to lie, I am still a Leeds fan, as confident as I am in my team and in Farker and the players. They score, and then you see that big 9 minutes go up, and you think, oh, this, the weather, the pitch, they could score another goal here, but we held out. As I say, right at the end, Darlow's made that good save as well. So that's the momentum, the stats of the game, and it says that as well. And it says, in fact, that Forrest had more shots than us, and they had more on target. There's a few from outside the box, but if you look at the XG, 2.5, 1.3 at 13 for them. Possession, we had more possession. And then the opposite, touched in the opposition box, 30 for us. So it's on the balance of stats, it was quite even, and you could see that in the game in a sense. But I think we had the better of sort of like the positioning and the sort of balls in the box. Let's have a look here. I reckon that if we stay up, he'll get more years. He should. He should get more years. Absolutely should. Fart mentioned the 80th minute that we got tired. Yeah, we we probably did. I mean, on that pitch as well. It probably took a little bit out of you. So this is the league after all of these weekend games. Sorry, let me get that banner off because I can't see all of the league. Oh, it's not a banner, it's a comment. Sorry. So this is the league. We're still in 16th place, but Joint on points with Spurs now. I thought we'd be joint on points with Palace as well, but they ended up beating Brighton at Brighton. That was a very, very poor game. Watching Brighton today, I'm like, how the fuck did we lose to them? They look really poor today. But it's still very, very tight down there. It's like, if you like, up to like Sunderland. Sunderland are like 7 points. 7 points is nothing. It's still very, very tight. We can finish anywhere. We could finish anywhere if we just get a few more wins. But it is tight. 6 points off West Ham. 3 points now from Forest. I think Burnley are almost done now. I think Burnley are done. I thought there was a chance of all three teams staying up this year, but it's got Parker in it. Yeah, I think Burnley are done. Wolves are done. Wolves are putting up a bit of a fight, but they're not getting the results. They're looking a better team than they were early in the season. And I think they might take some points off a few teams still. But I think Wolves and Burnley done now. It could be out of anyone. There's a whole host of teams that could be dragged into this. And people like on Match Today were sort of talking about it's just out of us, Forest and West Ham. They're saying Spurs are too good to go down. That Spurs are in trouble. They've just had a man sent off. They've got a fucking shit ton of injuries. They're in the Champions League. I would love it if they won the Champions League and got relegated. That would be hilarious. But I said they'll finish 17th again. 2 seasons on the trot, finishing 17th would be mental. And they could. They could easily. Yeah, so that's the league. That's the bloody league after this weekend. Let's get me back in the big screen. So that moves us on to this Chelsea midweek. Big game at Stamford Bridge. I think we can go in there with confidence, you know. I mean, it's not a free hit, as people say, because at this stage of the season, because of how tight it is, we want to get as many points as we can. But I think we can afford to lose it. I think we've got enough decent games at home that we can win and stay up. But like I say, we're a good team now. We're a good team, and teams know that we're a good team. Teams know what we bring, and we just go there and stick it on them. We can get something out of this game, definitely. Fergal. Oh, let me go that one first. Wolves get something for us. Possibly, like I say, Wolves, they're not playing terribly. They're not playing terribly, and they will take some points off some teams. I'm hoping they'll take some points off teams around us and help us out until they come to Elland Road and we stick 17 past them. 17. So Fergal's going 2-0. I know what you're going to go. Chelsea 1, Leeds 3. I already know that, mate. For me, tough game, Stamford Bridge. Let me think. Ooh, I think I might go up. I'm going to go for a win because I always fucking do. Yes, I know. I already know, mate. I already know. But thanks for putting it up there. I appreciate it. I'm going to go for a win, surprisingly. I'm going to go... I'm going to go 7-4. 7-4 victory to Leeds United at Stamford Bridge. 7-4. I'm inspired by the 7-3 game that we lost to Forest that they dragged up because of Friday's game. They dragged up that game where we conceded 7 goals. With Neil Warnock in charge. So yeah, I'm going to go 7-4 to Leeds. Goal scorers. So I'm going to go Okafor to score 6 goals because he's going to watch this and go, I need to up my game. He doesn't speak like that. It's Swiss, isn't he? I need to up my game. So he'll score 6. And then Goodmanson. It's like Goodmanson. It's all going to be from the left-hand side on Tuesday. Leeds 7. No. Chelsea 4. Leeds 7. That's what I think. Just one thing that I did miss out on the game. A man of the match for the game, if you didn't guess already, because of the criticism, because of the people wanting him out, and because of the performance he put in, I could have given it to anyone really. There was a number of players I could have given it to. Justin and Bogle, both fantastic player, like games they had. Goodmanson did well. Ampadu just. Why is Ampadu so good, by the way? Oh, is anyone worried about Ampadu staying? I'm not worried because I think he's found a home here. I think he's really at home at Leeds. Obviously, we never know in terms of big teams, but I can't see a big team taking him and whacking him and playing him. So he's just so good, isn't he? So good. My man of the match though on Friday night is the one and the only Stoichkov. Sorry, not Stoichkov. Ilya Gurev. Well done, Gurev. You've earned the Sunday Club man of the match from me. I'll send you your award by pigeon. The big smile that he had on the Leeds verdict show. Who's that? Who had a big smile, mate? Sorry, I'm lost in my own weird chat. Who's your man of the matches as well, guys? Tell me your man of the matches were. Mine's Ilya Gurev. Answering a few critics. Now, don't go and play on Tuesday, Ilya, and have a shit game, because all them negative Leeds fans will be like, I told you he should be playing. I told you he should be playing. He's not good enough for Leeds United. Who's your man of the matches? And who are you talking about, Fergal? I want to know. Who had a big smile? Is it Farker? Because there's a lot of smiling. Or was it Bogle? Or was it just I don't know. Okafor. Sorry, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Okafor, yeah. Because he knows he's going to score 6 goals on Tuesday, mate. He's listened to me. I've had a word. I said, listen, Noah, you ain't on the arc now, lad. Get them 2x2s out of your head. I want 6 goals. Heat map. Yes. Thank you. We're all in agreement. All 3 of us. Thank you very much. Well, I think that's about as much as I've got to say after another lovely win from Leeds United. Thank you, Einar, as usual, and Fergal for joining me and talking and keeping this conversation going. It's been a pleasure. Do the things that you've got to do if you haven't. Like and subscribe. There's a new hype thing as well. There's a hype thing. I don't know what that means. Do you have to go out in the street and just like Leeds House? Yeah, hype. I don't know. I don't know what hype means. Hype it up. Woo! Turn up the bass line. Anyway, do all that. If you're not watching live, put some comments on the videos, please. Put some comments on there, because it's just nice. It lets me know that someone's actually watched it, and I can then comment and say thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Yes, Einar, lovely to have you as always. Is it? Well, hype it, push it out, spread the word. Tell your mama, tell your dada, tell your non-Leeds fans, and say Sport Leeds, you shit. James said Sport Leeds, and go and watch the Leeds House on Sunday Club. Do it now. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I will be back on Tuesday night to do a match reaction to the Chelsea game. And then we'll be back next week with the Sunday Club, obviously the FA Cup game against Birmingham. Kevin will not be with me on Tuesday because he's never in the week, but he may be back next Sunday. But who knows? Because he's like an enigma. He just appeared. He didn't even appear. You just hear his voice come out of nowhere. I think that's changing soon, though. I think that's changing. You might actually see his face the next time he's on. So let's hope that is the case. I've been James. You guys have been whoever you have been watching. I'm gonna leave you. I'm going. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you Tuesday. Take care.